Hi, I'm Michael Canty, and we're standing in front of the Chemical and Natural Sciences building, where Doctors Russ Minton and Brian Bramstead recently gave a lecture on their views about homosexuality. We were lucky enough to catch up with the two doctors to get them to talk about their views about the same-sex marriage debate from a psychological and biological perspective. The debate is surrounded by civil, religious, and legal issues. How do these all come together and influence the debate?
Traditionally, we've seen marriage as a bond between two individuals in the eyes of friends and family, the state, and then often the religious institution, whatever church, temple, so on, so mosque that you might belong to. When we look at the privileges and the benefits of marriage, this is a very privileged group. They have certain civil rights as well, and legal as well, that you don't see with normal individuals that aren't married. And when you deny individuals the ability to engage in that particular union, you've denied individuals civil rights. They simply aren't afforded the same legal protection under the law, same tax benefits, same inheritance property rights as you do everybody else. It's simple exclusionary politics.
There's a number of people who think that marriage is just a religious thing, that if everyone was just given a civil union or the same kind of legal standing, then all of this debate would kind of vanish. And I think we're trying to hopefully head toward that. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. So it is a matter of what did the state say, what does the Supreme Court say, what does your individual church or lack thereof say, and it just kind of takes the focus away from the debate of, are we all just people trying to get along, doesn't everyone have the same right, and divvy it up into these little compartments that we can sit and fight about.
From a psychological perspective, are there differences beyond the obvious between opposite-sex marriage and same-sex marriage?
Differences between same-sex marriage and straight marriage as far as psychological factors, the answer is absolutely not. Love is love, caring is caring, emotion is emotion. Absolutely no difference, as you say, other than the obvious. It's two people that care about each other. Love is not bounded by gender or something of that nature. Absolutely not.
We've discussed how homosexuality is perfectly natural in the animal kingdom. How does this biological perspective affect your opinion about same-sex marriage?
It's, like you said, because it is so natural, the debate almost seems ridiculous. That with all of the bizarre, strange things that animals do to have sex and how they relate to one another and how they relate to their environment, the fact that humans hold such a stigma for same-sex relationships, same-sex behavior, biologically, it's ludicrous. And again, it takes away from the argument of we should be looking at sexuality as a whole and not just obsessively, compulsively picking at this one little part of it.
So how is this issue any different than the other civil rights movements of the past 20th century? Can you tie it into somehow to the civil rights movement of the 60s? Is it the 21st century's version of the civil rights movement? Is it a civil rights issue at all?
Is it a civil rights issue? Yes, and again, it's somewhat sad that it has to be. Most of this comes down to gay marriage and the rights that go with being a legal partner with someone. So, is it the same as blacks not being allowed to ride on a bus? Is it the same as women not being allowed to vote? It's probably not to that level yet, but in terms of, is it the next small step we need to take to make sure everyone's rights are protected? I would argue yes. When spouses or legal partners, or whatever you want to call them, when the person you love can't see you in a hospital, can't take care of you, is the last person known, has no legal rights, then yeah, it is a civil rights issue. Again, people in society aren't going to see it like, gay people can ride buses, gay people can vote. But when it comes to the people we love, there is a lot of discrimination. And, will this be the next big thing? Well, probably illegal immigration is going to take us, take that step. But it certainly is important, and I think there's enough of a groundswell for people to actually consider it and to start voting with their hearts and their feet and to make it the next issue.
As we've seen, the experts often see the same-sex marriage debate, though comprised of multiple parts, as a simple issue. Consensus among scientists and scholars seems to be on the side of same-sex marriage proponents. Despite this, the debate rages on in the courthouses and legislatures around the country. With no end in sight, this is likely to continue to be debated for years to come. For the University of Louisiana at Monroe, I'm Michael Canty.